Hello, I'm Chizu Omori. I'm 93 years old, and I am a survivor of the American concentration camps that were put together for World War II, and my whole community of people of Japanese descent from the whole West Coast area were put into concentration camps. I was there between the ages of 12 and 15, as well as my family, my father, my mother, and my two sisters. Um, so having undergone that kind of experience, I feel that I have some understanding of what a policy like that by our government can do to individuals, to families, and to the community as a whole. We were treated with indifference, I would say. And I don't think that at that time that the government had any understanding of what was happening to us and what it would mean in the long term. It's an extremely dangerous precedent-setting policy, and in that way, I can see what's happening today as something that somewhat resembles what happened to us. And I'm very concerned about the government repeating history and again, mistreating people in detention centers. As a survivor, I would like to repeat the slogan, which I think is very relevant, called "Stop Repeating History." You're perpetrating great damage on the people who are in these detention centers. I am particularly concerned about the Northwest Detention Center, that there are people who are doing hunger strikes and such to protest the conditions and the physical abuse that goes on. I just really feel that we need to close these detention centers, and particularly here, hashtag close the Northwest Detention Center. And I speak from experience. So thank you.
My name is Joe Okimoto, and I'm from the Seattle area. I was 3 years old when I was incarcerated at the Poston, Arizona concentration camp. It was on May 1st, 1942, that U.S. soldiers with rifles and bayonets ordered our family onto the back of an Army truck that took us to the temporary prison camp at the Santa Anita racetrack. Besides my parents, there were 3 of us kids in the family. My brother, 7, my sister, age 5, and me at 3. Our mother was 6 months pregnant and delivered our younger brother at the temporary prison camp. 2 weeks later, we were put on a train to Poston, Arizona, where a permanent concentration camp was built on an Indian reservation. This concentration camp was in the desert, where the temperature in the summer could reach 115 degrees and would fall below freezing in the winter. Suffocating sandstorms frequently blew sand and dust throughout the barracks. There was no running water in our barrack room, and we had to line up at the mess hall to eat unappetizing and unhealthy food. We had to share public showers, toilets, and laundry facilities with 200 to 300 other inmates in the block. We were imprisoned for 3.5 years. I'm speaking today because immigrants who are seeking asylum in America are being imprisoned in detention centers like the Northwest Detention Center at Tacoma, Washington, where there have been multiple complaints of inhumane treatment. Inmates have gone on hunger strikes to protest the poor sanitation, spoiled food, poor medical care, and physical abuse. Our government needs to stop repeating the history of incarceration of innocent people. Hashtag stop repeating history.
I was 7 years old when we were allowed to leave Minidoka to be part of the diaspora of Japanese Americans who were allowed to leave camp before the war ended by relocating to the Midwest. So I grew up in Chicago, Illinois. I do remember walking with my mother on the streets of North Side Chicago. I was by then 7 because I entered camp when I was 4 years old. So we were there for 3.5 years, and it was now early in 1945. And my mother and I walking the streets and my being so tired, and my mother knocking on doors with signs of vacancy and the doors being shut. You know, once they took a look at us, some people were polite and they said, oh, yeah, the vacancy has been filled. Others just slammed the door on us. Your pseudo for solidarity is here because they will not allow hope to be abandoned. And most of us are ordinary people. Although I'm a writer of plays about the Japanese American experience that share the stories of the DOJ camps of Santa Fe and Lordsburg that my father was in, and I've written about Minidoka and the other WRA camps. We do this because it's important that our stories be known and shared and identified with what is occurring today to so many other families and to so many other children. And it's important that they know that they are not abandoned in the way that we felt we were at the time of Executive Order 9066 and all the traumas that we faced and are still facing. So hashtag close the Northwest Detention Center. Hashtag please, please, please stop repeating history.